one better. So we have rehired Michaela Garvin for episode 8.
There's nothing better than
9 and 10 is pending. We are opening applications.
We had auditions and everything.
Yeah. So
This was Eric's time to shine.
Eric.
I just always know nothing's better than the best.
Oh, inspirational.
Confidence is key.
AKA K Money.
Okay, K-Money, if that is so, I know you're going to lead us through this episode.
Glad
Oh,
that
bye.
for this one.
Okay, I need to let y'all know.
Preface the
Let me preface
show.
this for you. This is a golf situation.
Golf episode.
Baseball. I need to let y'all know I know about football and basketball.
I will also speak for myself. I'm a golf girly, but I'm not a baseball girly.
No. My grandpa only watched football, and then it moves my mom and everybody with the basketball. My mom, I told her we were talking about golf, and she was like, oh,
It's going to be a learning moment for Michaela.
This is going to be a learning episode for me. I might comment here and there because I'm going to be like, oh.
We will guide you through.
Yes.
Jumping in, I have the green Stanley today because we are all about green jackets.
Yeah.
So
Very appropriate.
That's the color of the Master's jacket.
Yes,
Yeah. She's on a good track.
Yes, I know
So,
something.
We're off
the
to a good
Masters, the tournament happened. This year's champion was Jon Rahm from Spain. So this was kind of a historic win. I guess you could say like there was a lot of history tied to it. So he's the second Spanish winner. And the previous one, it's a 40-year anniversary, and it was also his birthday.
Yeah, I saw that.
So after the win, they had a good bro hug, and it was just a really cool moment. And early on in the tournament, after the first 3 days, Brooks Koepka was really playing really strong, and going into the final day, John was 2 strokes behind Koepka. Also, my mom, Jan, cannot say Brooks Koepka to save
What
her
did
life.
she say?
Coco Pekka, Kepi, Kepika.
That runs in
awful.
the family though,
Hey.
because Kinzie
Hey.
is Dave Portnoy when it comes to names.
Bro.
Half the time it's just funny.
Don't ask why we were talking about Kendra Potts today, but she called her Kendra
Scott.
Scott.
She low-key is Kendra Scott, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
Kendra Scott.
She is almost Kendra Scott, though.
Me?
Kendra Potts.
Kendra Potts.
She is Kendra Scott, so that's a good
So it's
mistake.
an inherited trait between you and your mother of saying names apparently.
Well,
And Dave Portnoy's in there somewhere.
you just roasted me on our podcast, but it's okay.
So
Can I
funny,
say
though.
something else?
Go for it.
I literally don't know who Jon Rahm is.
Oh, well, he is a golfer in
Yeah.
the PGA.
I just feel like if you showed me pictures, I would not be able to, like...
That's a lot of guys on the PGA too.
They
They're-
all look very
They're, like, very
similar.
normal.
They're all millionaires, but no one knows who they are. So actually, fun
Okay.
fact, if you don't know, to be considered a pro in the world of golf, you have to have at least $1 million in earnings every year to keep your pro card. So, like, some people are like, man, that guy got last, but the guy that got last at the Masters won 50 grand.
Okay, well,
So they're like, no one really knows them, but they are very well off. So that's a sidetrack, but kind of getting back on track.
Wow.
Jon Rahm is not new to winning. He's had a really good year thus far, and he's actually the only player with 4 PGA Tour wins right now, and they are all in the year of 2023. So these past, 4 months have been great for him. And so going back, Brooks Koepka was having a great tournament, and actually the first day, it wasn't looking too good for Jon Rahm. He started out the tournament on his first hole with a 4-putt, and everyone was kind of like, yikes. But definitely kind of turned it on. And
That's not good.
No,
Oh,
yeah, that's bad.
no, I figured
That's
like it
bad.
wasn't. I'm just trying to make it...
So ended up shooting 3 under with a 69 in the final round for a total 12 under score on the tournament. And I don't know if you guys watched the Physical Masters, but his last shot was also kind of crazy. Went off the tee. First ball was a little sketchy. Didn't know if they were going to find it, so he actually hit a provisional. And I want to say the announcers did say that he is one of, not the first, or one of the few Masters champions that have had to hit a provisional shot. Ended up finding the ball. It was a perfect lie. Whatever. Had a great flop shot, lay up on the green. It's beautiful. But he is very confused. Flop shot is like high in the air and sticks.
My uncle would be like smacking me in the face right now for not knowing a single thing that's happening.
So kind of continuing to move on into this Masters, you have Phil Mickelson, which he was the you know who that
I
is?
know who
Hefty
he is.
lefty.
Hefty lefty.
My twin.
Oh, twin.
I wasn't even thinking
My
about that.
twin.
Kia is also left-handed.
So anyway, Phil is now the oldest player to compete in the Masters, and this is his third time playing. And yeah, he has the best final round score by a player that is 50 years or older in tournament history. Back to some controversy in the PGA and Tour. There was definitely some controversy about Brooks Koepka and Phil Mickelson. Mm-hmm. So Phil actually had a pretty close run to winning. I think he finished second. He tied second with Brooks.
He tied second, yeah.
So the controversy around that is now within the world of golf. There's now a separate tour called the LIV, and the LIV is a little bit more team-oriented and fan-engaged, and players are making a lot more money within it. And not as much player to player, but kind of as a golf community, the fans have definitely had some negative things to say about them joining the LIV. Mm-hmm. And me and Austin were talking about how like if Brooks Koepka and Phil won the Masters this year, it really a lot of people would have been mad because they left the tour and came back.
Yeah.
And also I can't speak on this like 100%, like I don't know if this is fact, but I want to say the Masters tournament is a part of the PGA Tour. So because Brooks and Phil aren't in the PGA Tour, they couldn't qualify naturally. But the thing with the Masters is if you win one time, like their big slogan is you win it once, they welcome you back always.
You get invited back.
Yeah, so that's how I think Phil and Brooks were able to be in the in the Masters.
Yeah.
Also with that, Tiger Woods. So Tiger Woods, I don't think technically qualified for the Masters, but because he was a previous Masters winner, he automatically qualified, mm-hmm. and he made the cut, so he got to be in the tournament. Also, if you don't know what the cut is, for people that don't know golf terminology, so making the cut is they take like the best 50 scores, and they get to go into the next, like the final rounds.
Gotcha.
So that is the cut. Mm-hmm. Since we're talking about Tiger, I'm gonna let my fasciitis girly explain his issue, and then
takes one to know one. I struggle with feet issues, and me and Tiger Woods are the same in that. That's about it. But so as we know, we've kind of talked about him before. We talked about the whole pranking thing with JT. But anyways, so Woods started out the tournament just like normal, and he was kind of struggling to get around. It looked like, the weather did not help.
No. So if you didn't watch the Masters, they actually had a couple delays. One of the delays is because 3 of like their ginormous trees just fell over. Oh. And it was kind of crazy how they fell. Like the entire root system of the tree came out of the ground. So that's either like mega wind or they were kind of dead. But also there were some significant weather and rain delays on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So that also contributed, I'm pretty sure, to his arthritis and his fasciitis.
Yeah. He played like normal, and then he was in last place, and he ended up announcing early Sunday morning that he was withdrawing from the final round on Sunday. It was real mature about it. Posted a tweet out there just thanking everybody for the support and for the opportunity. But he did give credit to this withdrawal to plantar fasciitis, which is I know because I too suffer. It's a foot issue, and
yes, and I did see him. He had a shot that was his lie was in the bunker, and he really had a hard time like getting his footing, and that is definitely like something that's a challenge. And on that shot, I definitely noticed that he didn't look comfortable, but I don't think people realize the physicality aspect of golf and like the endurance. Part of golf is walking.
Yeah.
I played competitively in high school. I have to carry my bag, or you could push it. So carrying your bag while taking that many swings, especially when you're like a pro player, how much torque they have on their joints and their bodies, endurance definitely becomes a factor. And so kind of knowing that, I fully understand, and considering his previous accident,
yeah,
I fully understand not being like, I can't.
Well, and with like my fasciitis, I mean, there's times where I can't stand anymore. It's like it's just the pain of just standing straight up, and he was having to walk, and obviously they have caddies to carry their bags, but walking for miles and miles and miles across
a
a
long
course. Yeah, and then for days too. It's not like you get a rest
Practice
day.
round and then 4 tournament days.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see it for him, as an athlete, but
Yes, but I think me and my family were kind of talking about this. I think Tiger is in a different era, per se.
yeah.
I think Tiger's new legacy will be Charlie.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like, I saw the other day that he's actually getting remarried to his wife, but there's a hefty clause in that prenup that if they get a divorce, that man's gonna be broke. But I think he's really trying to mend things with his ex or wife. I don't know what you're clarifying her now, but with Charlie's mom. And I think his new legacy will be playing pro-ams and fun father-son tournaments with Charlie, and then ultimately I think Charlie's going to be a major competitor in the golf world coming up.
And I've seen him and his dad play together. That's insane. Their mannerisms.
Yes, I was going to say, like, that's what's crazy. Even Tiger has spoke, like, how long they hold their finish and just those
The time
aspects.
they bend over, pick up the tee.
The way they, like, talk to other people.
the
swag, that's allergies.
The nose.
It's allergies.
But the way that.
But
Yeah.
why are they doing that? Like, it's so crazy.
Genetics,
just like
man.
like dads and, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Kind of talking about
It's going to be good, though.
the future of the golf world. This isn't on our script, but I had to throw this in there.
Yeah.
Definitely one of my favorite players and my brother Austin's favorite players to watch at the Masters was Sam Bennett. So at the Masters, you can have amateurs, so those aren't pros. And they give an award to the low amateur, like the best low amateur scorer. Whoever scores the lowest in amateurs gets to be in the final round. And that this year was Sam Bennett. And he was paired with Scotty and I'm drawing a blank, his other partner. But guys that have won the Masters before, have had big tour wins, and he was hanging with them every single shot. Like, he was right there with them, putting up good scores. So Sam Bennett is actually currently a student at Texas A&M. So he finished the Masters, and A&M was actually playing in a tournament the next day, and he was debating, like, if he wanted to play, if he didn't want to play. Ended up not playing because he was like, my body needed a break after that much golf.
Fair.
But was at the tournament. And my favorite thing about Sam Bennett is his story. So in June of 2021, his father passed away after an 8-year battle with Alzheimer's. And before he died, he told Sam, don't wait to do something. And one of the big things about the tournament this year was on his arm. He has kind of like on yours, how you have that. He has it in his dad's writing that says, don't wait to do anything, with the date and his signature. And I think that's pretty good motivation, and I feel like that's a really cool story. And also, homeboy can play. He was the first amateur with a top 20 finish since 2005.
Wow.
And I was talking about Austin today at lunch, like how wild it must be, like next week when Texas A&M is at a tournament and you get paired with Sam Bennett. Like, the dude was just like sitting next to John Rahm in an interview, and so I feel like that would be pretty crazy to be paired with him, but also they're dudes, and they'd be like, bro, what was it like to play with him? But
No amateur has ever won the Masters, but he finished like 2 under par, tied for 16th, and as a fifth-year senior in college. Like, that's pretty cool.
He missed a lag putt by just a little bit, so that kind of dropped him, I think, by one place. But because he's an amateur, he doesn't get to collect his winnings, so his winnings go back to the pot. But now that we have,
what?
Yeah, so that's an amateur. You're not allowed to collect the tournament winnings.
Yeah.
But now that we have this good thing called NIL, I'm sure homeboy got paid very
well. So he
well.
can still make a lot of money. I actually have to do a lot of research on this for my capstone project. He can still make a lot of money through brand deals and marketing and being an ambassador and stuff like that. But straight winnings, because that goes against NCAA's pay for play, they, like, just like us, the way that NCAA is all about amateur status. Once we lose our amateur status, you're done. You can't play in college anymore. So before NIL, amateur status was held by you could not be paid to play, you could not have an agent,
Can't be endorsed.
and so with that, and you could not participate in like professional play. So with NIL, that kind of takes all of that out. Now you can have an agent that can help you navigate these deals. They can't advocate for you for schools. If you're in the portal, an agent can't go around to the other schools, and so not like agency like
It's
NBA.
It's just branding.
Right. So but you can have an agent now, and you can make money, which before you couldn't. But the only thing that's holding your amateur status now is pay for play. You cannot get paid to play your sport.
Gotcha.
So one thing that's kind of crazy about the Masters and just kind of like the money involved is, so like John Rahm walked away with a little over $1 million in winnings. So I think it'd be wild if an amateur came in and like Sam Bennett, because he's a college student and still actively plays at A&M. If he were to win the Masters, he would win $1 million, and it would just get redistributed to all the other players.
You know, you wonder at that point, like if an amateur ever did win, should you just finish your degree and just get off your college team?
Going back to the pro card, you have to win $1 million within a year to receive your pro card. So if he were to win the Masters, he would immediately get his pro card.
Oh, and then he would make his
He would
money back.
immediately be eligible to be considered a pro and receive a pro card. I'd be like, peace, Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's
I'm going to take my money and go join the tour.
I mean, you want to be a good teammate there. Like he was SEC Player of the Year last year, I believe. And so he's probably carries that team. They're probably riding on him for some things. But
growing up with brothers, though, and, like, knowing their friends, and again, like, I'm not Sam Bennett and his friends, but I think, like, they'd be like, dude, go, that's sick. Like, that's the goal they're all working for.
Yeah. I mean, but you can still do that. Like, you either take the money or you stay on your team. I think that all three of us would stay on our team. I do.
I don't know. I can't say that.
He's gonna have a huge future ahead of him.
Yeah, I don't know if I won the Masters.
Won the Masters. It's only $1 million. Like,
oh, girl, only
the title.
Do you know how much Lululemon you could buy?
It's tangible.
Hannah, I'm gonna say right now, Mackenzie Davis' statement. If I were Sam Bennett and I won the Masters,
it's tangible though. The intangible of winning with your college team will never.
But
money can't buy that.
You can say whatever you want to say. If I was Sam Bennett and I won the Masters and I received my pro card,
I would get that $1 million and set my family up. I'd set my family up.
I am no longer an amateur.
But do you think that they would still, even though he won the money but he couldn't keep it, they'd still give him the pro card?
I don't know.
See, I think if you could still get the pro card and not keep the money, then go finish your career with your college team.
But then because then he's gonna be a pro. Like, I don't.
He's gonna be a pro in a couple months once he gets his degree, anyways. He's gonna. You're not just gonna lose your talent.
I would leave. I'm sorry.
How much longer does his season have? Is what I'm wondering.
A couple more weeks, probably.
It'll go until end of May, June.
Yeah.
Then I guess stay with the team.
That's if he is done with his eligibility. I don't know.
This is his fifth year, right?
I would be done by then. I would say.
I'd be like, all right, for 3 more, 2.5 months. Sorry, I'm gonna take the mill and go be a pro.
You have your whole life to be a pro, though.
This
is not very 12th man.
Sorry.
A&M,
golf is an individual sport.
Texas A&M would not support this decision. They're all about the 12th man and the spirit.
You guys are stressing me out.
I don't know.
This is a good question.
This is a good question, but Hannah, I think I would also get the.
Okay.
Call us bad teammates,
but it's golf.
I'm taking my $1 million, my pro card, and starting my pro career.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I see it though. I like that.
I understand where you're coming from, but yes. I fully understand where you're coming from, and I see your viewpoint. But me personally, I'm taking the mill and starting my pro career.
All right.
I would literally take the mill, retire.
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, this is never going to happen to any of us. So.
What are you talking about?
No, I literally just was at the driving range.
Next year.
The USA Beach is going to call you or something?
No, the Masters.
Oh, okay.
Are you kidding me? I've been on the driving range before. Don't get it twisted.
Girl, what is a bogey?
Girl, I don't know. girl, I don't know. But let me tell you.
Bogey is 1 over par.
Okay, well, don't know what that means either. So basically, in the summertime, when I go visit my dad, if I need some extra like work, my dad was like, "Oh, let's go golfing," and I was like, "Bro, like I don't want to do that." And he was like, "No, like come on." Went to the driving range. I was kind of sold. It's
fun.
tough, and also all the old guys are like helping me. My dad's like, "Oh, listen to him." The guy's like, "No, her swing's fine. You need to listen to me." And I was like, "Yeah."
You know what Scott loves to say?
What?
I hate that Kinzie just stopped playing golf. She has the best natural swing I've ever seen. I'm like, Scott,
We don't even have a golf team here.
we do at the high school.
No,
Well,
but not at Eastern.
are you going to be in high school for the rest of your life?
No, but as Mackenzie Davis, my freshman year, I was like, I'm going to play varsity golf again because I want a golf scholarship.
Low-key, I was looking at it when COVID hit because they always have
Well, not gonna lie,
golf
you could be
scholarships.
bad. You could be a bad female golfer and get a nice golf scholarship.
Yeah, because they need golfers.
No girls play golf.
I know that. You know what I do for my last year?
When we get really famous, we're gonna hold a meet and greet at a golf course.
Yes.
Go to
And then we're gonna be like, Hannah once got into an argument with us because she.
If we
wanted
would
us
take
to
the
get-
money and go pro.
And look at us, we took the money and we're rich.
We took the money and
We're
went
rich.
pro.
And
We're
We're rich and we're pro, and our jacket is green.
begging y'all for loans or something.
Hannah's gonna be like, please.
Give me some of your money and your pro card.
Just need
No.
an Uncrustable for dinner.
Jeez.
Not the Uncrustable. Bro.
Talking about people that are hanging up jerseys and getting rich. The Cavinder twins.
My twin.
Do you want to take this away?
Yes. Okay. So, as we've talked about the Cavinder twins a lot on this podcast, a lot.
They need to be guests at this point.
They need to be guests.
I DM'd them.
Good.
they didn't-
I saw that the other day. I was like, twin. I was like, I hope they respond. So the
Maybe now that they're not as actually, I'm gonna stop cutting you off. Just get into
no,
it.
you can go ahead.
Maybe now that they're not busy with basketball, maybe they'll look at their DMs. But
Imagine they're like, oh my bad, and also we saw you say that we weren't too good, and then run it back and say we're so good. So you need to make up your mind.
oh my gosh,
I could not pick a side. Basically, the 22-year-old twins helped Miami's run to the Elite Eight last month. They have the biggest NIL for females, or one of the biggest.
they're making bank.
They're up there.
They're up there.
Done and them basically.
Yeah.
They've decided to forego their extra year of eligibility and pursue their life after basketball, and
Which I can respect.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
Little surprised they're not going to the draft because didn't they say that one of the reasons why they weren't going to Miami is to make a tournament run and help their odds of going to the draft?
I don't think they ever talked about NBA or WNBA.
WNBA?
Like, even I listened to a podcast that they were on a couple weeks ago, and at that point they were divided. Haley wanted to continue playing, and Hannah was kind of ready to be done with it.
Do you think she'll ever resent her for that?
I don't
Like,
know, because like I feel like I've talked to Hannah about this. It's like sometimes it's like you think
But like,
this is
'cause
your
they're-
identity.
But because they're twins, like, if the other one was like, yeah, I want to keep going, like, would they still be playing or?
Well, I don't know. She says ultimately she realized she didn't want to play without her twin. So I mean, maybe if
Twin on for real. Sorry, that was a side thought.
no, twin.
it's just sad because it's like, why is it all or nothing? Like, obviously I don't have
Yeah.
a twin.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
in a couple years, will she be like, man, I wish I would have played, like, my 5th year. But
I mean, I feel like if at the end of the day, if she feels like that, I've seen plenty of situations where somebody goes on a year break and then they come back and and play their last year. So I feel like if it becomes that big of a problem, she can come back. But Hannah said she's starting to develop different passions for things other than basketball.
Which is, you like to hear that from athletes. I know, like, yesterday, even, like, we kind of talked about fulfilling that void once you're done with athletics and how you do that. And I think, like, it's nice to hear, like, these big athletes that they know and they see life after athletics.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you feel, I don't know. I wonder what that conversation was like, because obviously one of them said a couple weeks ago that she was thinking about continuing and playing again, and then the other one was kind of already, not over it, but ready to move on. But then also, you think they played their last game not really. I mean, maybe they're like, this could be our last game, you know? But, like, never, you might not ever get that closure.
But did they have a senior night?
I don't know if they did it. I don't really know how that works. I mean, I guess we're about to find out because a bunch of our teammates are about to be seniors, but with another year of eligibility.
But what I'm saying is, like, so when University of Miami had senior night, if those two didn't have a senior presentation, then it was like their coaching staffs understanding they were coming back for another year.
Maybe you just pull a Stubbs.
Whoa.
And you do the senior night. And then you start thinking,
just kidding, I'm coming back.
God, bless her soul.
Bless
Thank.
her, bro.
I don't know if Stubbs watches or listens to our podcast, but thank you, Stubbs.
This is gonna be a test, so we'll see if she listens.
It's like when we dropped
Yeah.
Corey Bell's name.
Sometimes we talk about people to see if they say
see if
anything
they'll
to
say
us.
I don't think he watched the episode. No. I don't
know.
think he did it.
But that's a good question, though. Like, they might not have ever gotten closure. They might not have ever gotten a senior night. But also, like, as a senior night at that level, when you've only been at a school for 1 year, you don't have that much identity to the school. Is that really even something you value? I mean, maybe it might be more for the closure.
Yeah.
Are we going to value our senior
I
night?
think it's still
All those stats?
okay. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Oh, all right.
I think
So they want to be realtors.
Yeah, they talked about going into real estate.
Excuse me. They want to be realtors. Kinzie, I'm going to punch you in the face. Like what? Like that is enough. What accent was that, bro? Like, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Hannah.
No, it's okay.
This girl right here.
I don't know what to say.
This guy.
Dive into it.
Boy, if you don't. They plan to remain in Florida, and they're not going to be in a college athletic situation, obviously, but they're going to work with a media company, and they're going to continue their business venture surrounding media and working with sponsors, which I feel like they've also developed a passion for at this point. I mean,
Yeah. I'm curious, I'm kind of hoping for this, if we see a little Cavinder twin real estate reality TV show.
oh my gosh.
You know what? They
Property Brothers.
They signed a Dear Property Sisters.
Dear
Property
Property.
Sisters.
Sorry, they signed a deal with maybe like the
Sorry.
WWE
I'm still laughing
maybe?
at realtors.
WWE.
Whoa. They're going to be wrestlers?
Well, they said on this podcast I listened to, they were like, yeah, we could basically be the next Bella twins.
Pop off, my queens.
know.
I mean, they're fit little girls.
It would be cool.
Why are you getting up?
I don't want to be next to you.
She's
back here.
resigning. She's quitting.
I'm
Her
sorry.
first day back on the job.
I'm quitting because I'm not sure if y'all saw Kinzie, but she just went crazy right
You're
here in her
Hulk
seat.
Hogan.
Okay.
Insert picture here.
Yeah, I'm one fine Hulk
All right,
Hogan.
well, before me and Kia get into some beef, Hannah is our resident baseball girlfriend, so she knows all the tea. So, you know, Michaela, I'm just gonna,
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we're switching sides here.
Okay.
Hannah, teach us about baseball.
Yeah, imagine,
Okay.
yeah. If you're a baseball girlfriend talking, if you're not, just quiet.
So, if your girlfriend talks, hit him where it hurts.
Hannah took the mic. You know what that means?
I better start. Okay.
This episode is all over the place.
So I'm gonna do kind of like how I did a March Madness educational segment. I'm gonna do a little MLB segment because they have changed some recent rules. So if you're familiar with baseball, there's gonna be some changes coming up. So opening day was a few weeks ago, and the regular season will run from April to the end of September, and then October is like postseason and. So we'll probably, once we come back for next semester, we'll probably be in postseason. It'll get exciting, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to tell y'all about this new pitch timer rule. They tested it out in the minor leagues. And so, like, we went to a minor league game when we were in Round Rock. And
Were
basically,
they like the Round Rock Railroaders?
Round
No.
Rock Express?
Yeah, that's it.
Was that it?
It
Yeah.
He
wasn't
got a
the
jersey.
railroad. I did get a jersey.
Yeah.
Should have worn it today.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think about it.
It's okay. Next,
But you know what
next
Hannah
episode.
said? If you're not a girlfriend, be quiet. So we will be silent for the rest of the episode.
take it away.
Basically, all these major league franchises have minor league teams underneath them, and they if they need a role to fill on their team, they can go to their minor league teams and look for someone doing well to bring up, and you can always get sent back down too. So yeah, that's kind of nerve-wracking. Once you get pulled up, you could always go back down, or a team could draft you and then send you to their minor league team.
And if you're still confused, think about G League. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. Boy, if you don't. I'm older than you, Kinzie.
Okay. All right.
I'm older than you.
Continuing on the pitch timer
Okay,
rule.
so this new pitch timer rule, they tested out in the minors, and then they said they liked it, so the majors has adopted it for this season. This was an attempt to create a quicker pace game. If you watch baseball, it's a long game.
Yes.
It can be 2.5 to 4 hours long, 9 innings.
It's an event.
Super long, super long. So to speed it up, in hopes of speeding it up, they have implemented this 30-second timer between batters. So when there's switching batters, there's 30-second timer on the clock. Between each pitch, 15-second timer when the bases are empty. So if no one's on base, and let's say a pitcher pitches a ball, and then usually a batter will step out of the box, stretch, take a couple like little practice swings. So in that time now, there is a 15-second timer going before the next pitch has to be thrown. Mm-hmm. So that's with empty bases. If there's a runner on base, that 15 seconds is a 20-second timer. So basically, pitcher must begin his motion to deliver a pitch. It doesn't have to be like release or anything. He just has to start his motion to pitch the ball before that clock goes off. So it's not like a shot clock in basketball where it has to hit the rim or anything. It's just you have to start the motion to pitch before the expiration of the timer. If a pitcher violates the timer, then the pitcher takes an automatic ball. Mm. And if a batter violates, so if a batter's not in the box yet and the timer goes off, then the batter takes an automatic strike.
So tell me if I'm right. To walk someone, it's 4 balls, right?
4 balls.
So
yeah.
do you think that we will see people like walking guys through pitch counts?
We might. Honestly, we might. I don't know if
frustrating that would be.
I don't know if there's any if they've implemented any kind of a issue like with that. I don't know, but that might be.
Also, me and Austin were talking about this at lunch. I gotta give him credit, or he'll say like I'm just stealing his facts or whatever. But we were talking about how like from a health standpoint, throwing that quickly without resting time, like you're throwing 103, 102, 30 seconds back to back. We're curious how that's gonna be for like the health of shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if people go through pitchers faster now.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to adjust, like, pitch counts.
Maybe. But it's also pitch count is in place for safety reason. And if you up or down the pitch count, it's just you're either going to rest the shoulder more or you're going to, like, inflict more pain on it. But, yeah, that is a good assumption because a lot of times those pitchers take that walk back to the mound, that breath to kind of just relax, take their time, gather themselves before they throw the next pitch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good thought.
Hannah Page has been stumped.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see because this is obviously the first year of the implementation. Yeah. So what kind of? I bet at the end of the season they revisit these things. I mean, obviously they tested it out in the minors, so it's not like they just thought it up and then threw it in. But there. I wonder. Yeah, imagine changing the rules.
Well, I'm not a certified baseball girly like Hannah, but every summer the Davis family does like to enjoy a nice MLB game. So I am excited for the MLB season.
Yeah.
And I do believe we might be going back to my favorite ballpark, the Rockies.
Oh, Colorado.
Yes. Coors Field is my favorite field.
Yeah.
Putting that out there in ESPN land.
I think that there's a chance that I could go to a Padres game.
Ooh.
Or, I don't really know what team my dad likes, so I'm not going to really go in because I hate
by
to.
San Francisco, so you can go
I
there.
know.
I wouldn't do a San Francisco game because of the location of that field. And
it's nice.
Yeah,
it's
and when
really
you hit
nice.
when you hit a dinger, the kayakers catch your ball.
Yeah. Every time we drive by it when I'm in Frisco, it's so I just love to just look into it. Like,
I want to go to the Rangers' new facility, how it's now
nice.
enclosed, because it used to be a hot one when you go to those games.
It's nice.
And then we always have a good time going to the Diamondbacks because my parents used to live in Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a fun stadium. Back in the day, there was a pool in that stadium, but they took it out. So, but on that note, I believe that is all we have for this episode.
Yeah.
And me and Kia can now talk again because the
Yeah,
girlfriend
we can talk
segment is
again.
over.
Girlfriend segment is done and gone.
But this episode was kind of all over the place a little bit, but I think it added some good comedy and it's good for the plot.
The
so
weather's good. We're only about a couple weeks out of summer.
Getting a little tan.
We're just getting excited.
Getting hella
The
tan.
vibes are good.
Yeah, we have a couple more episodes though. So
Yeah.
Stay tuned for these next few episodes.
Yeah.
We might have some tricks up our sleeve, but shall we hit it with a Stanley cheers and call her a day?
Yep.
Yeehaw!
Howdy.